Welcome back. The Herd is coming up next right here on FS1. Let's head over check in with Colin today. Hey, Colin, what is on the show?
Steve Berline had 18 surgeries. He was a quarterback in the NFL, and he went to Stanford, too, and he didn't like what Andrew Luck did. We'll talk about that coming up.
Time for our final topic of the day. Tom Brady may have to deal with losing his starting center. David Andrews is at risk of missing the entire season after being hospitalized while undergoing tests for blood clots in his lungs. Andrews started 57 games over the past 4 seasons, including the Patriots' last 3 Super Bowls. He was released from the hospital last night after the testing. So, Shannon, how big of a loss would this be for Brady and the Patriots?
Well, look, the center normally is responsible for all the line calls, but I don't think that'll affect Tom. Tom knows if need be, Tom could step in and make all the line calls and not miss a beat. The thing that you love most about the Patriots, Skip, is that they believe in their system. They believe they can plug a guy in and they won't miss a beat. The backup would be Ted Karras. He rotates, he plays guard, he plays a lot of different positions. They feel they won't miss a beat without Andrews, but this is a serious issue for this young man.
For most teams, this would be debilitating. But for this team, in Dante Scarnecchia, I trust. He's the best offensive line coach in pro football. He has saved this team repeatedly. He came back out of retirement to save Tom after that, which was 2015 when it got so bad for him. And he did take a lot of punishment that year. And in this case, who was David Andrews? Like, he was undrafted out of Georgia, and Scar, as they call him, made something out of nothing there, and he made a whole lot of something. So you mentioned Ted Karras. He was a 6th-round draft pick in 2016. He comes from a lineage of pro football players, including his great-uncle, Alex Karras, who was a great defensive tackle for the Lions, and then he segued into acting. I know him best from Blazing Saddles, Mongo. He was on Webster, right?
That's what most people know him from, because until I didn't realize he was a football player until I started, as I got much older and started digging into his background. But he was a heck of a football player. He wasn't just a football. He was a heck of a football player.
He was really good, defensive tackle. But the point is, now, maybe this kid's got some lineage in his bloodlines, and he says, I got to step in and do this, and I think they will be just fine going forward, but most teams would not be. This would be well, look what happened to my Cowboys, right, without Travis.
Well, then hold on. He's not Travis Fredericks.
No?
No.
Well, no, he's not that. But
no. And they don't rely. We'll see. Well, I don't think they'll miss a beat. It might show up a little bit in the run game because they ran the ball a lot in the playoffs, Skip.
Yeah, hope he's all right. Hope Andrews is okay. That is it for us. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Colin tells you why Andrew Luck is catching heat for his early retirement. The Herd starts right now.
In the AFC?
It's my turn.
Either way.
Go ahead.
Rob, I'm glad you're here, but I do want to start with Skip on this one. What do Brady's quotes tell you?
I loved what Tom Brady said because he spoke without passion. It was dispassionate, and it was without sympathy. He just basically laid it on the line. We didn't hear all the quotes, but it goes on into explaining just what this is. It's a tough game that you played. And that season is a long, hard, he called it a marathon of a grind. And it's both physical and emotional because there are many ups and many downs. And lots of times there feel like there are more downs than ups, right? There are days you walk back into that locker room and you feel like it's devastation, like it's over. And you have to suck it up and play through it and fight through it. And this is what I don't understand. I think there's a part of Tom Brady that sits back and says, okay, so he just finally said, I just can't do this anymore, both physically and emotionally. I just can't do it. Tom's fine with that. He's seen a whole lot of players come and go. But here's a Tom Brady who's 42 years of age, and he's hearing Aaron Rodgers say, you know, we should feel sorry for Andrew Luck. We should celebrate him. But nobody celebrates the fact that Brady looks, to me, better than ever at age 42. He says he's healthier than he's ever been at age 42. He says he's as excited as he's ever been to play football at age 42. Yet nobody talks about it. Nobody's amazed by it. They're just numb to it. And most people, including you two, are just sick and tired of Tom Brady and the Patriots winning.
You know what? But let me tell you what they did do. People were so appalled They were so upset that Tom Brady got injured, they changed the rules. They changed the rules for Tom Brady.
Why didn't the rules save Andrew Luck from himself?
Skip, that's my point. Tom Brady has never taken the punishment in the pocket that Andrew Luck played. Now, once he broke the line of scrimmage, Andrew Luck was on his own. And he thought he could run over linebackers, he could run through defensive linemen.
He did.
And he was sadly mistaken.
He was.
And it took its toll on his body.
Yep.
It was an accumulation. It was a short accumulation. That's why I'm surprised Cam is last, because Cam has taken these kinds of
just
shots.
Remember, Andrew Luck in his first 5 years in this league was 3rd in the league in turnovers.
Yes.
So it was both getting beat up and losing the football.
Exactly.
But
Go ahead.
Yeah. This was like typical Tom Brady. Captain Obvious. He's lame. You know, he just lost trying to get the trademark to be Tom Terrific. It should have been, he should have filed for Tom Terrible. Because when it comes to because when it comes to this, Tom Terrible, when it comes to talking about the things in the NFL, he's a zero. Shannon, a zero. He's the same guy who said he didn't know that the kneeling was going on. He's totally oblivious to that. Skip, do you remember that? Even though some players on his own team had knelt down. So he said he didn't know what was going on. Here, there's no compassion. There should be a brotherhood for quarterbacks. The whole notion, you don't have to give him a parade or tell him he's the greatest quarterback ever, but a 29-year-old with so much talent who's forced to leave the game, Tom has nothing to say.
He's not forced to. He chose
No,
to leave
but because he can't do it anymore. But Tom doesn't say anything other than, well, you know, everybody has the right to do what they want. Well, thank you. We know that.
Yeah.
That's your answer to why a guy quits at 29 years old?
You're talking about a cold-blooded killer in a football
No,
contest.
just a guy who's so wrapped up in himself, and even later on,
he's wrapped up in winning Super Bowls.
Wrapped up in himself. Even later on in that quote you're talking about, he starts talking about him and his support system and his trainer and all that. Nobody wants to hear that. All you have to do is talk about for 1 minute your contemporary, a guy who is forced out of the game because he's been beat up and has all these injuries. All Tom Brady has to say is, man, what a tough game this is. I've been fortunate to survive, but this is what most guys go through, and I feel for him. I wish that this guy could still play.
He doesn't feel, he's not going to lie.
I
don't
love
think
competing
he feels
against him.
No.
This is a guy who was in my way in the AFC who's now not there.
What happened
he doesn't
both times Andrew Luck ran into Brady and Belichick?
Well, but it's still the idea that it's competition,
he
though.
Stunk it up. He played his worst playoff game, and he was 4-4 in the playoffs at Foxborough on the night of Deflategate. And all the attention went on to, was Tom Brady cheating when with legally inflated footballs in the second half, Brady just threw a party on them. He was extraordinary because he had an extraordinary run. And then he went and beat Seattle in the Super Bowl, but nobody noticed Andrew Luck was awful in that game.
Oh, he was terrible. Look, it could have been an underinflated football. Look, the Patriots could have played with a bowling ball. They were going to beat the Colts. They were just a better team. And once it started rolling in the playoffs, it gets out of hand.
45-7.
Yeah,
it's over.
It got out of hand in a hurry. Skip, Tom should knock on wood. He's been very fortunate. He's suffered one injury. It knocked him out for the entire season. But he hasn't had the ticky-tack, the nicky-nack injury, Skip, that keep him out for a game here or 2 games there. He's been very fortunate with that.
Is it possible that he's doing something no one will ever do again, which is play at a high level at age 42 at quarterback?
Would you say the Super Bowl was a high level? Did he play at a high level in the Super Bowl?
No.
I thought he was awful.
No, he didn't play at a high level, Skip. He made one throw. He didn't play at a high level, Skip.
He was bad.
He completed 5 straight passes, and it was the game-winning
Why didn't they give him the MVP, Skip?
I
Why?
sat right here the next day and said he deserved the MVP.
No, he didn't.
No, Skip.
Julian Edelman for catching balls in the first half?
I don't know if somebody will play till they're 42, but I believe guys will play better longer for the simple way the way the game is constructed. It's constructed to take care of the quarterback. You can't punish him. I talked to a lot of guys at the Hall, and it's like, yeah, we could have played 2 until we're 40s if we'd had those kinds of protections.
Okay, but he does get rid of the ball faster than anybody does. And
that's the dink and dunk. That's all he does now.
Not dinking and dunking. He throws it down the field when necessary. But the point is, he and his trainer, Alex Guerrero, have found something they call pliability. he's eating avocado ice cream. And
Yeah.
you guys mostly scoff and make fun of all of
Is
that.
that what it is, Skip, or is there something else that we might find out later? I'm asking.
Does he look like he's a product of something else?
I'm just
Does he look
asking
like?
you. I didn't.
By the way, he dropped about 15 pounds.
I'm asking you. I don't know. I'm not. Is it a really avocado ice cream that makes the difference?
I don't know.
Andrew Luck likes
Shannon, you play
avocado.
football. Is that what it is?
I don't eat
Takes care of
avocados.
himself.
Okay, so
Really?
Andrew Luck
I don't.
decided to call it a day at 29, and nobody forced him to, and I'm knocking on wood for him. God bless him that he heals up, but nobody forced him out. It's a hard game. He made $122 million over 7 years. That's a lot of money to make for going 4-4 in the postseason and never quite living up to being either the next Elway or the next Peyton Manning.
But Skip,
Couldn't live up.
So we're gonna say the man's career is a bust after 7
I
years.
didn't say it's a bust, but it was a disappointment
No, I don't
given
think
his
so.
expectations.
Yeah,
as you call it.
True.
Right?
But Skip, 7 years in, he's 4-4 in the playoffs. He'd won a couple of division titles. He'd missed the season. Look, I don't know if we ever saw Andrew Luck at his maximum potential because he was hurt. Because when he came in the league, when he was totally healthy, they did a terrible job of surrounding him with protectors.
Absolutely.
His offensive line was terrible. And he took punishment, and when he broke out of the pocket, Skip, he didn't understand how to get down. He didn't know when the journey was
His
over. And so-
mentality was as terrible as his offensive line.
Yes, and
But-
it wrecked his body. But Skip, for me, I don't think he was looking back like, you know what? I made $122 million. I'm good. He could have easily